It's not normally against the law. Usually you can go up there anytime you want.
Yeah.
Well, usually.
And I don't actually think it's a law. I think it's more like a presidential edict. Congress didn't pass a law saying that it should be shut up.
Well, caused by Tea Party, thankfully.
Hey, how are you? I need some help because I am somewhere where I have a phone that I can't get information and any phone numbers. I'm at the Glenn Beck Freedom Works thing where they cleaned up the National Mall this morning. And they ended up at the Lincoln Memorial where there is absolutely no press, although there are dozens of people with cell phones. And they persuaded several hundred people have broken the barriers and gone into the Lincoln Memorial as if it were open as it normally is. And there are like 3 cops here. Oh, and now they've called more. I'm videotaping all this. So now they've called 6 more cops. So they haven't actually done anything yet, but the park police are now showing up. They've been in there for like 10 or 15 minutes. Anyway, I want to call WMAL or anybody. And I'm wondering if you would either call them or tell them, or if you would text me their phone numbers. Now the cop, 2 of the cops have turned around and noticed that everybody is videotaping them with cell phones or iPads. Yeah. And also, if you want to tell anybody you know. Okay. Thanks. So I wonder if the police are now going to tell people to stop videotaping it now that they've all showed up. Oh, and they're tying back up the yellow tape. I guess that's how long it took you to get a message to the White House and back. Hey, I'm calling you just because I was going through my phone numbers. I'm trying to find somebody who can text me any media phone numbers because I can't call information for some reason on my cell phone. And so I'm just going to tell you what's going on. You can decide if it's anything that you would like to respond to in some way. I came to this Glenn Beck Freedom Works thing this morning that started at 10 where they, like Mike Lee spoke to them and Glenn Beck, both good speeches, and then they gave them rakes to clean up the National Mall. And so they cleaned up, they cleaned up the mall for like an hour and a half and ended up at the Lincoln Memorial, which is guarded by 3 guards and has police tape all around it. And about 200 or so of them were persuaded to tear down the police tape, and they have entered the Lincoln Memorial the way tourists normally can. And they're standing up there shouting USA and carrying American flags and Tea Party emblems. And it took about, 10 minutes for the 3 cops who were there to call more park police, like another half dozen. And so now they're not really shooing people out. They're just standing around with guns, and they put about half the police tape back up. So anyway, I would love to call WMAL, but I can't figure out their phone number to call them, or anyone, because there's no media here. They're like dozens of people with cell phones. I've taped about 15 minutes of it with my iPad. Anyway, if you text me any phone numbers, I will call them. Actually, I see somebody else I asked just texted me one, so I'm going to get off and see who that. Anything, reason, anybody who would be helpful. Anyway, I've got to get off because I should call whoever they just texted me. News desk. News desk.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, come on, answer. Hey David, Bruce Majors. I'm at the Lincoln Memorial. 200 Tea Partiers have just pierced the police tape to go to it, as tourists normally can, and I'd say there are a dozen cops here so far. No violence yet. There's no media here. I'm videotaping it with an iPad, and lots of people are doing it with their cell phones. Anyway, too bad I couldn't get a live person. Fucking God. Let's everyone be useless.
Dude, signs get closer.
News desk. News desk. I don't know. News desk. News desk. Oh, good fucking God.